At the turn of the 20th century, the Qing Dynasty was collapsing under the weight of foreign imperialism. Following devastating defeats in two major wars, the oldest empire on Earth was being systematically carved into spheres of influence. By 1900, the Forbidden City had lost control of its borders. Outside the imperial walls, the northern provinces were gripped by a severe drought and a rising anger toward foreign missionaries. In the rural heart of Shandong province, a decentralized peasant militia began to mobilize. They called themselves the Righteous and Harmonious Fists. The Western press called them the Boxers. They practiced esoteric martial arts, claiming mass spirit possession rendered them immune to modern rifles. And they were marching rapidly toward the capital. Inside the Forbidden City, the imperial court was fracturing. The tension finally broke, not on the battlefield, but in the streets. When a German diplomat was assassinated by a Qing soldier, Empress Dowager Cixi made a fateful decision. She officially backed the Boxer militias and issued a decree declaring war on all foreign powers. But a massive international retaliation was already underway. In the coastal port of Tianjin, an unprecedented coalition made landfall, the Eight-Nation Alliance. The treaties were abandoned, replaced by a full-scale military intervention. Russian infantry, American Marines, British Indian regiments. Their uniforms were diverse, but their objective was singular: march inland to Beijing and relieve the besieged legation quarter. Outside the city, the Boxer militias engaged the Allied expedition. Traditional spears faced the sheer volume of modern artillery. It was a brutal, asymmetrical clash, and the Qing defenses were beginning to shatter. August 14th, 1900. The relief force announced its arrival with the thunder of heavy guns. The Gassali expedition reached the massive gates of Beijing, and a chaotic, multi-pronged assault began. The urban combat was immediate and ruthless. No quarter was given on either side. By early afternoon, Sikh regiments of the British military waded through the water gates, successfully breaking the 55-day siege. But as the exhausted foreign diplomats celebrated their survival, the occupied capital was subjected to a calculated and devastating reprisal. A systematic, officially sanctioned looting that would strip centuries of priceless cultural artifacts from the imperial palaces. The conclusion of the conflict was not a treaty. It was a complete economic dismantling. The Qing government was forced to sign the Boxer Protocol, a document engineered to permanently cripple the state. The alliance demanded a staggering indemnity of 450 million taels of silver, equal to the entire population of China. Foreign garrisons were granted permanent occupation rights along the railway to the sea. The empire was not just militarily defeated, it was functionally bankrupted. And to service the crushing 4% interest rate, the imperial court was forced to extract ruinous taxes from an already starving peasantry. The collapse of the dynasty was now a mathematical certainty. The ensuing decade witnessed the rapid disintegration of the imperial system. Cixi attempted a final desperate wave of modernization, restructuring the military along Western lines, and abolishing the ancient civil service exams. But the structural damage was too severe. In the winter of 1908, the Empress Dowager and the captive Emperor Guangxu both died within 24 hours of each other. The Dragon Throne was abruptly passed to a 3-year-old boy named Puyi. He would be the final emperor of China. The 2.5-century reign of the Qing was coming to an unceremonious end. The Boxer Rebellion left a permanent, blood-soaked blueprint for the 20th century. The severity of the foreign occupation and the crushing weight of the indemnities acted as a powerful catalyst, igniting the first true wave of modern Chinese nationalism. The trauma of the invasion forged a collective, unified determination to permanently expel foreign political interference. Just a few decades later, the memory of this humiliation would be weaponized by revolutionary leaders, transforming a fractured, dying empire into a fiercely independent, unified republic. The era of the dynasties was over, but the geopolitical shockwaves of the year 1900 would continue to shape the global balance of power. For the rest of the modern age,